Moving on to other stories now, a local court accepted the injunction request by former People Power Party Chair Lee Jun-seok to block the PPP switch to an emergency leadership. Current Emergency Committee Chairman of the ruling bloc filed an appeal in protest. Bo-kyoung has the latest.
Joo Ho-young, the chairman of the People Power Party's Emergency Leadership Committee, is suspended from his duties as the Seoul Southern District Court ruled in favor of former chairman Lee Jun-seok on Friday. The decision came 16 days after ex-chief Lee had filed for an injunction against the party's transition to an emergency leadership system. According to the party charter, it can turn to an emergency leadership system when the chair position is vacant or if the Spring Council can no longer function, deeming it as a party emergency. At that time, Lee Jun-seok was suspended as chairman for 6 months over a sexual bribery scandal, yet technically still held his position. Yet the Spring Council members resigned from their positions, which led to the launching of an emergency committee. This is what the court deemed to be the reason for the party falling into what it called an emergency.
When Lee received the 6-month suspension from the Ethics Committee, floor leader Kwon Sung-dong didn't see it as a vacancy, but an accident and gave an authoritative interpretation that he can come back as chief 6 months later by launching the acting chief system. The court saw this as the reason for deciding that the Emergency Leadership Committee had violated party democracy.
Experts say the court's decision has made the situation very complicated.
This is the injunction, not the ruling for their main lawsuit. Until then, Joo Ho-young is still the emergency committee chairman, but cannot perform his duties. And Lee Jun-seok is still ex-chairman as there is an emergency committee chairman in place. He cannot do anything because the party membership has been suspended. Everything is up in the air.
The now suspended emergency committee chairman said the decision was absurd.
The court saying that it's not an emergency, even though the party said it was, is absurd. I cannot understand this decision. It has damaged the constitutional principle of guaranteeing the party's own autonomy. We filed an appeal immediately and will take all necessary legal steps.
Although the PPP has filed an appeal with the court's decision to side with former chairman Lee Jun-seok, the party has fallen into confusion just around 10 days after the emergency leadership began. Bo-kyoung, Arirang News.